Well, okay, let's check my to-do list. Let's see, stop crime in New York, check. Fight the Vulture and Rhino, check. Spy on Mary Jane, that's not on the list, but, it was on my to-do, today thing.
Ew!
What?
Ew! Stop playing Spider-Man and come down here and do your podcast!
What are you talking about, Pete? I am Spider-Man.
Ew, unemployed actor, mate. We need to do a podcast. I'm down here in my pants with my microphone. Come down.
Jesus, Pete, not to be a fucking spoil sport. Jesus.
I'm sorry, mate. We got a podcast to do. You know, I wish I was Batman, but look at me. Look at my eyebrows. Come on, come down.
All right. Wait, where's Chris?
Who goes there?
Christ, my nuts.
Who goes there? What do you mean, Chris? What are you doing?
What the hell are you doing here, son?
Chris, what are you doing? It's Pete and Elle here. We're doing a podcast. You meant to be here about 10 minutes ago.
I just, popped on for a quick game.
A quick game? Chris, you've been playing this game since before Christmas. We haven't seen or heard from you since. It's ridiculous. It's out of hand. It's out of control. You need help.
Chris, you're talking in that Wild West Clint Eastwoodist accent. We need to do this podcast, mate.
First of all, if I was Clint Eastwood, I'd be doing this instead. Now you boys better start turning around before I get really mad.
That's one hell of a wheelie bin you got there, boy. I think you better paint that another color or we're gonna have a real bad time.
You see, my mule doesn't like people laughing. Gets the funny idea that you're laughing at him.
Chris, that's not a mule, that's a footstool, for Christ's sake. Look, just put the controller down.
Chris, for God's sake, you haven't had your medication, your mum's worried.
Stop playing Red Dead Redemption 2 and do this podcast with me and Elle.
Please.
All right then, let's get the show started. Oi, haven't you got something to say?
Yes, I do. Let's get this podcast rolling.
And be warned, it contains strong language.
Oi, that's my line, you cowboy.
Hello!
Hey!
You're listening to the We Sound Familiar belated Christmas Happy New Year special.
Yeah, it's
All of the above.
It's between Christmas and New Year, and I saw something on the internet, it's called Goochmas. So it's the area between Christmas and New Year's where it's either one or the other. So you just do what you want, mate. Goochmas, you know. Have yourself a merry little Goochmas.
Oh my God, we're off to a flying start.
But it's great. It's great. Like, you know, our podcast is sort of it's neither here nor there. So it is kind of the Gucci podcast goodness.
With that in mind, I'm Elliott Crossley.
I'm Chris Walker-Thomson.
And I'm Peter Walsh. Touch my gooch.
So
go on, I'll give you £1.
Oh,
you don't charge much then.
Wait, you don't get many people. It's not as if they're queuing up. Who do you think you are, Kanye West or something? Bet there's people queuing up for £2 touch his gooch. Anyway, let's get on with it.
I like to
Touch
think
my
Pete's like,
gooch.
I like to think Pete is like that song that Phil Collins wrote. Easy lover, just for £1 you can touch his gooch.
You better believe it. He's the kind of gooch you dream of.
Gooch, you wanna sleep? Well, okay, yeah.
It smells
You
so
never
fine.
forget.
Oh, fantastic. So it's the end of 2018. I think
It's soon to be, yes.
Yeah, so I think we've had a sort of decent year as such. In some ways, it might not be ended exactly the way we'd like it to be, in the sense of we'd like to have back-to-back work, all these various things.
I'm not crying myself to sleep. It's fine.
But it hasn't ended how I like it. What with Ariana Grande licking my back, but you know.
Anyway, what I was trying to get at was that what I was trying to get at was that in 2018 we have had some good times. I mean, Hooverville was a good success for us, and
Indeed, it was.
We've started this podcast, for instance.
We did.
Yeah,
it's our first holiday. That's our second holiday special because we did something for Halloween, didn't we? But yes,
and you know, it's and it looks like onwards and upwards for New Year. I hope. Well, I hope so. Is there anything this year that really stood out for you guys? Like, if you were to pick what was a highlight of this year?
I don't know. I had some nice moments with family and friends. I think that's the most important thing.
Oh, come on, El, give us an answer.
Okay, fine. For me, the standout thing of the year has to have been Avengers Infinity War. No. I will actually, this is me showing how sad I am. Well, not sad. I'm proud to say this. I'm a massive fan of Spider-Man, as our hilarious intro will have told you. So I went and watched Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, and that film was just a real highlight for me because it was just so great. It was well done. It was a nice little movie for someone who grew up reading the comics and watching all the cartoons and the movies. And especially considering this year, which was really, really heartbreaking for a lot of people, myself included, we lost Steve Ditko and Stan Lee, the guys who created Spider-Man and so many characters. Exactly. So getting that movie and just hearing Stan Lee's voice one more time, even though you know at this point he was alive, but now he's not. It was just like a nice little send off, and it was just really sweet and just it was so sad. The day I had the news, I actually cried. I was like, this sucks.
He was a legend. I didn't feel sad when I heard. It was his age and such. I thought, what a legacy he's left behind. I was more celebrating him, not celebrating his death, but you know, he made it that long in life and has done so much. And to think most of his life hadn't really started in this way until he was in his 40s or 50s.
Exactly, which is why I think it's so great when you hear people saying, oh, I've not done anything with my life. And I'll admit, there are times where I sit there and say to myself, I'm 30 years old, I've not done anything, I feel like I haven't accomplished anything. And then I saw this thing where it said Stan Lee didn't create Spider-Man until he was like 40 or 45.
That's right. You've
still got time.
Don't matter.
Yeah.
You just got.
Exactly.
We're doing it now. We're living the dream now. You know.
And Stanley's an inspiration, I think. But one of them, you said about like cameos. There's one which is just great, which is you've just played the Spider-Man game from Christmas.
Oh God,
There is a lovely Stan Lee cameo where just after a scene where Peter and Mary Jane have a nice little chat over it in a restaurant, they walk out and the waiter is Stan Lee and says, I like you two. You two are my favourites. And it was sort of like, it melted my heart, that did.
I'm not gonna lie, when that came up on the game, because I literally played that part earlier today, and it came up, and a little part of me like welled up, and I was like, oh, Stan. But a part of me was like, you did good, mate. You can rest easy, because like this year, in my opinion, has been the year for Spider-Man, because they got the character and right in the game, in the new movie, and like Infinity War, and it's like he's in good hands. You guys can rest easy. So yeah, that was a beautiful moment, and yeah.
Okay. Pete, what about yourself? Is there anything this year that you've been immensely proud of?
I've been very proud of the Thumbing Ponces.
Yes,
that I've been a part of, and I'm very happy to announce that I'm going to be in the second series. And and Pete's character will have a lovely arc throughout the second series. And I'm also doing another web series, which is a parody of parody of news, not dissimilar to the Day-to-Day.
Oh, fantastic!
Which I can't say much more about, but and a lot of Ninth Doctor stuff in the way.
Oh, nice!
Ah, that's fantastic, mate. Well done.
But I tell you what, we should talk about with Doctor Who. I think Chris, your Christmas story as the second
Yes,
Doctor, which was brilliant, mate. Which
thank you.
Took us all by surprise. Which is I'll be the first to say, which is your second Doctor Patrick Troughton performance is just gone up. It's just gone up to the next level. And
thank you.
Yeah, mate. Seriously,
it.
it was so good. I was really impressed by it.
That's for people that you aren't aware of it. It's called Sorry, and it's I've always wanted to do. I was like toying with the idea of doing a It's a Wonderful Life sort of thing, but no, it was like a few weeks ago. I won't get into the two specifics, but I felt incredibly low. Not low to the point of the character in the short, just miles from that point. But I was just so down and just felt lonely. And I was really, it was after a sort of an evening out in which left me alone, which I hated, and it really knocked me for six. I was miserable for the next few days. And I just, to sort of help process it a bit, I just sort of wrote it down. It started with the monologue, and then I gave the voice of reason, my rationalising of it, the voice of the second Doctor, because I thought that would. I mean, I did think, should I get one of you guys to join in and do a Doctor for it, but. A part of it felt right to do it from my own mouth. Yeah, I think that was the important of it was because both of the voices are me, but in vocal talents, hopefully they don't sound indistinguishable. They sound so separate. But yeah, no, it was a really sort of. I just kept it to myself, and I thought, you know what, release this. Why not? Don't make a big fuss out of it. Put it out, and no, the response has been amazing.
It was, mate. I was wrapping presents listening to it, and I was getting a bit teary-eyed myself, mate. And it was really good, really good, mate. Loved it. Really,
thank you. So it's a good little project to end on. I think I'd love to do more Patrick Troughton stuff, but I don't want to step on anyone else's toes.
Well,
and
toes gonna get stepped on, motherfucker.
Yeah.
No, I got big feet. That's just me.
Next year we'll see what we're doing. Obviously, lots of exciting stuff, but still, I think a multi-Doctor adventure over the three of us. It's got to be done, isn't it? Got to be done.
We wanted it. Well, I suppose we should put out an ad for anyone who can do a Jodie Whittaker impression.
Exactly,
please get in touch, because the three of us have tried and we suck at it.
I am terrible at it. I won't lie.
Although I don't know if many people can do an impression of it of just as yet. Well, now that the whole series is finished, overall thoughts?
We're not going to be too derogatory or hateful here, but
no, of course not.
I love the first episode. The first episode had everything, and it set up so much stuff, and it was just this roller coaster of emotions and excitement, and it was brilliant. And then I just kind of it set up a whole arc for this story, and then the next episode was just awful. They were running away from tissue paper.
Flight. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just. That's my thing with it. It's, you get a lot of these days people saying that the fandom is toxic, and he says, yeah, you got some wankers out there who are just listening, who are adamant that it's Jodie's fault. It's
not,
so
though.
It's not. She's great, but she just hasn't had the material to do it with. The rest of the series has just been bland. I was actually relieved when they said it wasn't going to be on Christmas Day.
Yeah.
Because I would have gone to sleep. Although they didn't keep the world's best secret since Ricky Martin's sexuality. The Daleks are back for New Year's, which is they couldn't help but reveal with the use of the MP3 from the old 2005 website.
Was it really? So Chris, enlighten us. Obviously, the Daleks say something in the trailer. What is it they say?
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
It just sounds like the generic file from like
just
if
like
there's a
very slow,
file, it goes exterminate, or something like that. And that was the worst way of revealing it. But no, everyone was like, well, I was surprised by that.
I was like, really?
Some people complained that why didn't you just keep the spoiler to the broadcast? And then I thought, well, to be honest with you, and not to sound hateful, I'm sort of now intrigued to watch it because of that spoiler.
It's like, I'm intrigued, but at the same time, I can't help but think when Who came back in 2005, the cliffhanger was the Emperor Dalek. They survived through me, like that, and everyone went, "Oh my god!" And you had no idea what was going on. And it was brilliant. Yeah. And now it's like...
For me...
I was like, oh, fucking hell, they fucked this, didn't they?
Well, for me, my favourite reveal was is when Series 2 was on the screens, and they were like, oh, the big bad guy for the season finale is going to be the Cybermen. And then they're doing the whole thing where the Doctor's like, you shouldn't have access to that technology. And they're like, oh, it's not ours. We didn't create it. And they're like, wait, what? And then the sphere opens, you're like, wait. That's not the Cybermen. Who made that? And then you see the Daleks pop out.
That was a great... They kept that really well hidden.
Yeah. That, for me, I was like, holy shit!
To be fair, back in 2005, they revealed it was Daleks at the end of Bad Wolf in the Boomtown next time.
Oh, yeah.
It suddenly just cuts to, like, four of them going,
here they are.
Exterminate. I don't know. This series has been just boring for me.
It's a weird, boring thing. It's like, even if I was a kid, I'd be like, so obviously you got fandom and you got, middle-aged people and all that going, and it's meant to be for kids, but I can't help but think if I was a kid, I wouldn't be going, wow, this is brilliant. I'd be going, oh, what's this?
Okay. I just want to say one thing quickly, and that's, right, I know that this is probably going to be like, whatever, I don't care. Basically, we live in a day and age now where it's a case of we have to be careful what we say because it's going to upset or piss off somebody because you have an opinion. And this is, I will never understand this, how we've gotten to a point where if you like a TV show or you don't like it and you say that, someone's upset by what you've said and like they say, oh, I'm reporting you on Facebook, or, oh, you triggered me. I'm like, it's an opinion. Everybody has one. We listen to yours, now listen to ours.
This is the thing about freedom of speech, which people seem to forget. It's freedom of speech. It's not freedom to, but only what you agree with. I mean, that's the whole point of freedom of speech, is you're going to have some dicks.
But that's what I'm saying.
Some people are going to, be a dick about it. Doesn't mean you have to be a dick or respond as a dick.
No, exactly, and I get that.
But at the same time, you have to kind of expect this is going to happen. I mean, going back to the Christmas sorry video that I did, the audio I did over Christmas. I knew that at some point someone was going to click the thumbs down on it.
Oh, there's always going to be that one person.
Because there's going to be someone.
That was me, mate. Sorry.
I fucking knew it, Pete.
I know. I thought, sod this. Look at him. Oh, look at me. He got matching teeth and shoes.
I did share a little comment which someone thought I was really upset about. I said, no, not really. That's why I was trying to be witty about it, because if someone's that's the point of freedom of speech, is that someone is allowed to dislike it.
It's all right. There's going to be someone, and you don't get upset about it, because it's going to be someone's going to do it, and that's that. And you got to just...
But that's what I'm trying to say. The point is...
One of my favourite things is looking on pages on Facebook like Lad Bible, and they'll post an article which may be very serious or might have something which could be potentially serious. I don't know. Or it's just plain fun. But rule of thumb, there is some arsehole out there who puts the most outrageous joke below it. And I love that, because I don't necessarily agree with him. I think, oh my God, that is funny. But you know, that's the point, that people, you've got to, you can't go and keep people away from those sort of comments.
Yeah.
I think it was like Rowan Atkinson said about offence. He said, he sort of compared it to illness. If you kept someone incubated or away from illness, isolated for most of their life, growing up life, so they've never caught cold, they've never been able to do this, because they're completely isolated from any form of contagion. They will then, the moment they get ill, they have no immune system to fight it, because their immune system will be weak as hell, and it will destroy them. And it's the same principle with keeping people in this like sort of safe space crap. Yeah. All this snowflake sort of idea of let's keep them to,
let's agree with everything they say just so it makes them feel better.
Or
but
like,
what I'm trying to get at is, well, these are all really great points, and these would be important for things like, like what's going on in the world right now, like, everything that's going on in America, everything that's going on in the Middle East, like the people trying to flee the countries to come over here to have better lives. But this is all over Doctor fucking Who. It's just guys, it's a TV show. There are far more important things going on in the world than about, the Doctor's got a rainbow-coloured scarf. It's like, who cares? Great, good for them. But my whole point is that people are so worried about what they're going to say about, if I say the show wasn't very good, I'll upset someone.
A lot of people, I think, are silent now. I think a lot of people are just silently keeping their opinions to themselves because of these people on either side going, you either, I did share something yesterday, which is like one of those, like arrow pointing starting from one point, skipping something and then going
like 5 years in the past or 5 years in the future as it's doing now,
something, and I went Doctor Who fans completely just going around fans who just think it's okay or have no real opinion of it, and then go straight to, you either a hater or you're a fan. But that's what bugs me, and like, I'm just going to go ahead and say it, like, I mean, I love Doctor Who, and I'll admit my love came back for it with the new show. And that's what got me into it. But the fact is, I'm just going to go ahead and say it. This new series wasn't that great. It was all right. We just have to put our hands up and say, it's not that good. And if you thought it was good, that's great. But
that's your taste. That's your opinion. You're entitled to it.
Well, I think a lot of
But don't think because someone else doesn't like it, they're sexist, misogynist, racist, or anything like that. It's just pure and simply, it just wasn't that good. Admittedly, there were some standout episodes. The Rosa Parks one was like, it was a good episode and it hit on some things that, were relevant back then and sadly still are relevant to this day.
It was all right. It was all right.
Episode.
It was, it took too much from Quantum Leap.
Yeah, it did feel like a Quantum Leap episode,
the whole premise was Quantum Leap. It wasn't as if they were changing time. It was as if it had to keep things how they were, and it was like, hang on, you've nicked this, and it was like,
I think that's the only thing, but that's the
and that was his best episode. So, and the whole format was sort of stolen from Quantum Leap.
I thought the Kablam episode was pretty good.
Kablam I liked.
That felt like I was watching Doctor Who. It felt like this feels like an episode of Doctor Who. It's fun, but at the same time, it's got that suspense. It's got bright characters. It's got robots and like there's something going on. There's an agenda behind it all. And it felt good. It wasn't like taking snide digs at people or companies or certain authoritative figures who happen to be heavily influenced in America right now. It was just, it was a good episode. It felt fun.
There was a thing, I think they put it in the Doctor Who magazine, sort of the end of the year issue. But they had a question on who are your favourite top 3 villains from series 11, and I thought
there were villains.
My answers were loneliness, inequality,
loneliness, inequality, and racism. Those are the big villains of Doctor Who,
and a bloke. And a mud monster, I think. That's about it, really. There wasn't any. It was just not. The series was nothing special.
I will say this though: the witches episode, when when the witches first showed up and like they were like walking around, I literally was sitting there and went, oh shit, they look a bit like, I genuinely was like, oh, they look a bit creepy and a bit terrifying. I was like, fair play.
Yeah.
So the witches one was a good one. The first episode to me just felt like a PG kid friendly version of Predator. I guarantee if you watch that film and have Predator in your mind, it plays out and it's like, this is Predator. That it's like, the only difference is that Jodie Whittaker is playing the part of Arnold Schwarzenegger. So that'd be quite funny. Get to the chopper now!
I love how he returns for the finale and no one gives a shit.
Yes, hey,
It's
fancy
Tim
seeing you
Shaw.
here.
Okay, great.
Who gives a shit?
That's exciting. No,
So,
but there are some positives in there. Like I see the potential in it, and I don't think the first season is a good example of anything.
exactly. Every Doctor had an alright season or a shit season. Tennant had a shit season. Matt Smith had a shit season. Capaldi had a few shit seasons.
But Capaldi's thing, it took about a couple of years before they got it right.
It's just a shame that the one they got right was his last season. It was like,
okay. But they got that, like, any TV show you watch, the first season's never the representative of the overall thing. Like,
exactly.
Breaking Bad,
Game of Thrones,
Walking Dead, even, Game of Thrones, The Office, the American Office. The first 6 episodes, and Parks and Recreation's a better example there.
Oh, yes.
Parks and Recreation's first season is just shit.
Boring. Yeah.
Rubbish. But
as it gets on, it's like, okay, this is good.
But usually what happens is, and I have faith in this, so it really is a make or break for the next season.
Which we're not getting for another year.
Now that's a stupid idea because I get why they may be doing it because they realise, Sundays work, so let's go back to April again. But after such a lukewarm series, are people going to be interested in wanting to watch it 18 months from now?
Well, that's what happened with
it's not like Sherlock,
Series 10.
Where Sherlock somehow blows everyone's minds. I don't know why, it's absolute rubbish, but people go like, when it comes back in about 2 years' time, they go, oh, I cannot wait for Sherlock, but after that season, where not that many people are that interested.
I know people keep arguing and saying, oh, but the ratings are so high. It's like, yeah, the ratings are high because people tune in to watch it, but how long do they watch it for? How long are they still watching it for after they've turned it on?
This series has actually had a record-breaking moment. It was going to start off big, so there was always going to be a decline as the series goes on.
Yeah.
But I think, am I right? I think I'm right in this, that it's decreased.
It hasn't?
It has. Well, it usually decreases week by week, but then peaks up again.
Yeah.
So that things might go down, and then, the Dalek episode, boom, back up. But actually, this has had the longest sequence of episodes declining. Each week since has been less than what was last week.
Really?
So whilst it is still a success in 7 to 8 million viewers, oh God, it must be what sort of a Man United fan sort of feels like, or football. Sort of has that. Well, we win sometimes, but mostly it's crap. that sort of vibe. And as a little bonus, actually, I think I might as well play this. Well, we thought we were going to do a Christmas one. So Elle very kindly recorded a load of intros for it in succession. And I think it'd be rude not to play it now.
Warning! This podcast may contain silver balls, jingle balls, and hot festive nuts. Warning! It's the most wonderful time of the year. Or is it? Warning! This podcast will contain more terrible jokes than the Christmas crackers at your table. Warning! You're not gonna get what you wanted for Christmas. And with this podcast, nothing will change. Warning! It's Christmas. Be on the lookout for Cliff Richard. Warning! We're behind you. We've got mistletoe. And we've got a podcast. Hit it! Warning! You'll never guess what we've got inside this podcast for you. It's my dick in a box. Warning! All we want for Christmas is the real Peter Dixon to do an intro for this bloody podcast. Until then... Warning! This podcast is going to be as disappointing as that Christmas jumper you received. What's that? You got Red Dead Redemption 2? You lucky fuck. Warning! It's Christmas, and there's no Doctor Who for you to watch this year. Well, it's either this or fucking X Factor again, so you might as well listen to this instead. Warning! We've been drinking plenty of festive-themed alcohol, and we're on the microphones, so it's about to get pretty fucking weird. Merry Christmas!
So there you go.
Beautiful.
So that's a beautiful little addition there. Thank you all for your hard work this year.
Let's just hope the real Peter Dixon doesn't hear this and sends me a cease and desist.
Talk about the new year itself. What is it that what do you hope to do? Is there anything like a goal that you'd like to accomplish, or
My goal for
a resolution?
New Year?
What's a resolution of sorts for you?
To crush your enemies, see them driven before you, and hear the lamentation of the women.
Get down the pound shop, get all the pot noodles you can, for as cheap as you can. Eat the pot noodle every day, and then masturbate every day. I look out the window.
Get to the Poundland! Now!
Well, that's one of my goals. No, I think for me next year, I am going to push myself out a door, or out a window for that matter.
I'm going to push myself into this sock.
I'm going to push myself in front of a car.
Happy New Year.
No, I think I'm going to... I do want to try and get healthy again because, annoyingly, I did start quite well at the beginning of this year. Like, I kicked a load of habits and I was really getting healthy, and then I had like some jobs fall through that I was really hoping for, and like I had a lot of bad news from like the family side of things, and I was just like, you know what? Fuck it. So, next year... I feel like next year's going to be a good one for me. I'm going to try and get a bit healthier. I'm going to push myself for more work so that next time I walk into a pub or somewhere and someone says, aren't you Elliott Crossley? They can say, I know you for your voice work, not for, I've seen you outside my bedroom window. Stop following me, you weirdo.
I'll get that all the time. I love it.
Yeah, Pete, stop following me home.
Yeah, but I'm
never
wearing
gets
my
old,
clown
does it?
outfit.
Never gets old, does it, Pete? They always keep saying that.
Oh, dear.
Well, I don't really do resolutions, so I decided this time to write a list of things that I'd like to accomplish, and if I progress, I can tick them off. If not, then, you know, shit happens.
So, Chris, who's on your to kill list? I mean, what's on your to-do list?
Same thing. I need to lose weight. I've gained quite a bit at Christmas. I know Christmas isn't the best time to reflect on weight, but it was like something as small as trying to sit down in a chair. And I was like, it's quite a narrow bit, and I was like, oh no, I can't get through anymore. I was like, this is bad. I've got to sort this out.
No, Chris, for me, it was when I was sitting down having my dinner, and then I realised, oh, why does my stomach hurt? Have I eaten too much? Like, oh no, my belt buckle's digging into my fucking stomach.
Oh, yeah.
That's when I was like, okay, whoosh, belts off.
Same thing. When I ate my third baby, I thought, Pete, you need to chill on this. And it was too much. But absolutely delicious, though.
But another thing I've got planned is I've got a new voice reel booked to do some more, try and get into the gaming animation sort of line of work. So just anything to just do a load of voices that aren't me.
Yeah.
But I've done, you know, like the audiobooks, I do the odd voices and here and there, but there's just not enough to show that range, especially in a reel. So I'm hoping this will really help in giving me more to do as a character actor. Been following a lot of character actors, like, you know, like Tom Kenny from SpongeBob, Rob Paulson, Jekyll Warner.
He was also Raphael in the original Ninja Turtles cartoon.
He was.
Like from the 80s, yeah.
He's done loads.
Cowabunga!
By the way, there's a shout out. Do check out Talking Tunes, because that has really actually uplifted me and motivated me.
It's very good.
You get he gets all these like people he's worked with, such
Maurice
as,
LaMarche.
yeah, and
Kevin Conroy, who's all know as Batman.
yeah, and Roger Craig Smith, who's the voice of Sonic and Batman in the Batman Arkham Origins game. And they just all talk about how they got into it and that, and it just really felt relatable. I was like, it's really good uplifting show. But yeah, following that, I was like, yeah, I want to break into that sort of industry and do some cartoons and things.
Definitely, mate. It's something worthwhile, and if it's something you're passionate about, then anyone who's listening to this, if you are passionate about this sort of thing, like if you want to get into voiceovers or like whether it be voiceover or voice acting and stuff, the best advice we can give you is literally go check out things like Talking Tunes. There's a community on Facebook called the Blumvox Studios, which is by Steve Bloom, who's he's a voice actor who's known for doing Spike in Cowboy Bebop. He's voiced Wolverine for nearly 10 years, so he's on par with Hugh Jackman nearly. He's done loads of voices for loads of stuff, so...
And don't worry about all these people with their podcasts as well. Find your own voice and record it.
Yes.
Get yourself, spend £100, get yourself a little cheap laptop, get a mic, record your own voice and spend hours and hours and hours editing and finding what sounds just right. And take it from there.
Because you get a lot of... sort of corporate work, don't you? A lot of sort of commercial type voices.
Yeah, 90% of it. I've spent 30 years of doing impressions and doing other voices and impressions, but a lot of it, like what I'm good at, is the corporate voice that sounds very much like this. And it's a brown voice, where please choose one of the following options, or why not find out something that you need to know. I'm in your back garden right now. I'm going through your bins, and I'm going to kill you immediately.
Merry Christmas.
But this is the kind of voice that people want to hear.
For audio navigation, press enter now.
If you would like to hear these options again, mash your face into the keyboard now.
Because you got to have some fun with it, you know what I mean, Peter. No, that's kind of my other voice that I wish I got paid for. But there's not a lot of people, clients who want to hear that one.
That's why I like it. That's why I just love doing characters. I just love to do, like, you know, almost invent new ones, you know, like sort of,
even if it's just for a little cartoon or something like that, you know, you can just go crazy with it and just really create something. It sounds like SpongeBob already.
So much fun with it. Oh, what's the matter?
And then on the opposite side, you can have your very deep and dark voices. You know, sort of, you know, various ranges.
Those two high-pitched voices you two just did, words cannot describe how much I want to stab you both in the throat.
Why?
Thank you. Elliot, please choose one of the following options.
Oh, God.
Please choose one of the following options.
I'm sorry, but I can't help you with that.
Imagine a sort of, you know, like in a game character who just goes,
come on, the treasure's this way.
And just, you know,
no, I get that.
That would be great, wouldn't it?
Oh, no, I love that sort of stuff. In fact, a lot of the time, because we're at the moment, where I'm working, I'm surrounded by kids a lot, and even though we have entertainers who are supposed to be there all the time, but are usually like timed performances, I usually wind up doing voices and just shouting things and just making kids laugh and stuff. Like the other week, I was running around this resort in like fairy lights, a hazard hat, and a bright pink high-vis jacket with a megaphone. And I was just quoting Darth Vader at them and just like these really just terrible Christmas jokes. And it was like, how'd you know what Darth Vader's got you for Christmas?
I could feel your presence.
I was like, I literally was like, good night, everybody. I'm here till Christmas Eve. Try the punch.
Thank you.
Good night.
Thank you. Have a really great time.
Don't do coke, kids.
No, that's the great thing. When I'm driving along, I start just going random to the random voice. And to the lady just driving up next to me in the Ford Astra, would you fucking use your indicators? You know, sort of things like that. I don't even know if a Ford Astra exists. I know nothing about cars.
For me, it's always a case of like, just if I'm either at a drive-through or I'm ordering food, if I say, oh, I'll order it, my family or my friends are like, yeah, it's cool. And then all of a sudden they're like, so it's like, hello, pizza place, like,
Oh, hello there. I'd like to order some food, please.
and they're like, Elliot, no. And just like, I do it and I'm just sitting there thinking, shit, they're going to spit in my food. I swear to God. But yeah, luckily it comes back and they're like, was that you on the phone? I'm like, yeah. And they're like, huh, cool.
Problem is,
Thanks.
I can't do it. I have said before, haven't I, about the time I worked at McDonald's. And
Oh, we've all worked at McDonald's at some point, mate. I used to.
I worked at McDonald's, mate.
I did the drive-through window one when I was at uni for like 6 months.
Yeah.
6 grueling months. But I chose to do the drive-through so I wasn't rushing around like a twat indoors. So I'd stood in there in this cold box, basically doing the taking the orders, and I would put on the voice as people pulled up, I just to amuse people I work with. So I have like, you know, Jim Michael Cady, that's a large Big Mac meal with a large Diet Coke and some ketchup. Come round to the next window. You know, sort of things like that. And then one time, I was like someone with a very strong accent that I couldn't quite understand who pulled up, and I went, I said, sorry, you're going to have to, I can't, could you repeat that about 4 times? I was like, just drive around to the first window. And obviously they're like fucking annoyed at this point. So they drive around to the first window, and I just then put on another voice. and then when I get it, he goes, are you the I can't do the, you know, are you the person who took my order? Are you the person on the headset? And I went, well, I've just taken over from him. He's just gone off now. And sort of covered for myself. And unfortunately, my other job I do at the moment in the call centre, we can't, I think someone's tried to do different voices on it and they got in trouble. So they said, yeah, you can't do that on the phone. Or
Oh, well, that's just a pain in the ass.
I'll admit, I did do that 1 or 2 times when I was at a call centre, but I think I got lucky because there's times where they say they're monitoring all your calls, but clearly they don't, because like 3 or 4 people got a phone call from David Tennant asking if they're paying too much for their car insurance, but no one seemed to give a shit.
How did that go? Please.
Well, I did do it. Well, there were times where I alternated. I'd do it as the doctor, or I'd be there as like David Tennant, like,
Hello there, my name is David Tennant. I have reason to believe that you're paying too much for your car insurance. Now, is that true? Because if so, I have got a rather brilliant deal for you, my friend.
And then other times it'd be,
I've travelled all over time and space, and I've got to say, you are paying way too much TARDIS insurance. Let me have a look at it. I'll get you a cheap deal. Blue Box Insurance, Alon Z, will get you a better deal. Don't believe me? Ask the master. Oh, wait, you can't. I killed him. He's dead. Boo fucking ho!
That's a bit harsh, Doctor. That's fucking chill out. I just wanted my car insurance. Not for you, no.
although I really do wish if like I got a phone call from like Money Supermarket, because I'm guessing you guys have seen the He-Man and Skeletor Dancing to Fame and Time of My Life, yeah?
Yes, yeah.
I literally want to just call that. If someone calls me saying, hi, I'm from Money Supermarket, I'm like, oh, sorry, this isn't my phone. I'm actually holding it for a friend. Here you go. Like, for God's sake, He-Man, they're back on the phone. When are you going to get me my royalties? I haven't had work since the 80s, you shit. Now I'm dancing to fucking Dirty Dancing. Beastman's got a crack addiction. He's not fighting very well.
I think it's sad that, you know, after a period of time after you die, your footage are maybe used in an advert for fucking Barclays or something. or you know, let's use He-Man characters. He-Man and Skeletor do this. It's like what's it like Wizard of Oz, Dorothy trying to get a loan out from Halifax. You know, for fuck's sake.
Or it's like the Ghostbusters one where it's like you see Egon there. It's like, I'm pretty sure Egon doesn't need a contactless credit card or whatever. Or, yeah, no, I do find it weird that these Halifax adverts where they're getting footage from old movies and stuff. And it's just like...
It's very cleverly done, actually, but it's so cringy.
Oh, God, yeah.
Yeah.
What happened to Howard, the Halifax man? You know, we all know who we're talking about, right?
Oh, yeah, Howard. The otherwise Professor Honeyduke from the Muppets.
Oh my god! Oh my god! And the Muppets are now doing Warburton's crumpets.
To be fair, the Muppets could do what they like. They haven't got a series at the moment.
I was gonna say the Muppets were like one of those things, like, oh, they've made a comeback, and just as soon as they had it, they were gone.
Yeah. Well, there hasn't been another film since, has there?
No film, no TV show. Nowadays, Kermit's just like living off royalty checks and the odd appearance on a charity stream or something or whatever. Gonzo is literally living up to his name and doing Gonzo films, which can only be found on the dark internet. Miss Piggy got embroiled in like a sex tape scandal, so that's which you can find on Pornhub apparently. As for the rest of the Muppets, they apparently have gone into hiding. Or,
yeah, Beaker's been arrested.
Oh, really? I heard about this. What a shame.
Someone, Beaker got nicked next to a large bag of cocaine, and he just went... Well, he was speechless, if I'm honest with you. Sorry. Hey. How'd they go there?
I heard Animal's now touring with the Foo Fighters, so that's something.
I honestly reckon I haven't seen Animal in a while, so I'm going to assume he's been put down.
Either that, or he's like just in a dumpster somewhere, like
Animal just want to die.
I reckon he's in a therapy session or something for, sexual misconduct.
Animal like boobies!
It pretty much was. Like, goes, woman!
Oh my god.
Animal the sex pest. I've always wanted them to... I know it's like, this is going to be far-fetched and only going to exist in my imagination. But a nightclub run by the Muppets.
Where's this going? But okay, go on.
No, Jenny, I just would love that if they hosted Kermit be the master, master of ceremonies. It'd be like the sort of wandering around, checking everyone's okay, and like the manager.
You mean kind of like Carlito's Way, like that Al Pacino movie? Where it's just there like,
hey, you having a good time? If you're not, well, get this guy a hooker or two.
Just walks around in a sort of, in a sort of suit. You got Swedish chef doing cocktails. Will fucking have me on the floor.
Can I take, what's a hurdy-burdy?
Martini and
I just imagine it though, just like Kermit, like he's dealing with someone who's like not paid their tab or something.
Right. If I ever see you in here again, or if I ever see you in the street, you're dead. Just like that.
The bouncer's the bear. The bouncer's got to be the big
Fozzie Bear.
No, the big bear who's like the sort of executive.
Oh yeah, I know who you mean now.
So I came to this conclusion, probably drunk at the time, and I just thought, I fucking love this. I just wish it was true.
It turns out Fozzie Bear's got his act together and now he's like reciting poetry, and turns out everyone loves him. He's like
his jokes are getting a bit edgy these days.
Yeah, he got booed off stage at the Alamo because he was making jokes that even Dave Chappelle was like, "Damn, Fozzie, that's too far." Again,
I just want Fozzie Bear to just stand on the stage and just go, Triggered, huh?
Waka waka, motherfucker! Hey, how many SJWs does it take to change a light bulb?
Oh my god.
Theresa May? More like Theresa Nene!
Sounded a bit more like Pee Wee Herman.
I did a bit, sorry.
Yeah.
So, Jeremy Corbyn? More like Jeremy, shut the fuck up!
Sorry.
That's me done for the evening, ladies and gentlemen. And now, the main attraction, Zippy!
Hello, you. You see the last of me. Well, guess what?
Oh, isn't this nice?
It's nice to see you all. But guess what? I'm unzipped, and I don't just mean my mouth.
That's it.
Motherfucker.
That's it. Oh, I'm wanting that photoshopped. It's just his stand-up tour called Zippy Unzipped.
I'll tell you what, mate. I've got some stories about what I've seen Bungle doing in the back of Rainbow. Literally. I'm not joking, mate. Rainbow was the name of his minder. Hey, hey. And George, I tell you what, he may be pink all, like on screen, but every time he came out of his dressing room, his nose was whiter than the Alaskan outbacks. Hey!
I was off my tit, Zippy.
He came in and started a fight with a local bouncer. All I remember seeing then was George lying on the floor, his face covered in blood and vomit, screaming, "Show me the way to go home." I sat there thinking to myself, George, get your shit together, mate.
So, going on from that rather colourful conversation, I suppose we should really now talk about, we've all talked about what we want to do with the future and what we want to do with the new year, but I feel we should now talk about what we're going to do with this podcast for next year and the near future, I suppose. Pete, what do you want us to do next year?
Within the podcast, lots of fun and games, but ultimately a lot more Doctor Who adventures. Which it'd be nice to have some little snippets of upcoming snippets and trailers of upcoming Who adventures, which we could have exclusive on the We Sound Familiar podcast.
Nah, that'd be cool. That'd be like a We Sound Familiar presents kind of
Get
thing.
it here.
That'd be cool.
Get it here first on the have a trailer that we can drop on the We Sound Familiar podcast. You won't hear it anywhere else.
Oh, unless we do like the BBC and we just spoil it like a couple of days before it's even meant to come out.
Yeah.
So, we got a new thing coming out. We're not going to tell you what it is. Exterminate. Yeah, okay. Well, fuck it. We told you now. Chris, is there anything you'd like to do with this podcast next year and in the future?
Well, I want us to do some more gigs.
Yes!
I have got a potential gig, but I haven't mentioned anything yet because I don't know if they've confirmed that this event is happening. So when I find out more, but they've asked for us specifically.
Have they?
Yep. But we'll wait for that to see what happens there. So
wait and see. Watch this space, everybody.
But I'd love us to do more. If there's any conventions out there, anyone listening from it goes to any conventions, Phil, do recommend us. We have a good laugh, and every show we've done, a Big Finish Day at Hooverville has been a success, and we would love to do more, I think.
Absolutely.
Ask Steve. He can vouch for us.
And Steve Hatchworth, God bless you. Thank you for having us, and we'll be back at
you,
Hooverville this year as well.
Yeah,
boy!
So, And so other than that, I think we're going to do the live video. We haven't gotten around to doing it yet, but we will.
We are going to do it.
Nice
Maybe we'll do it
video one, I think.
Maybe we'll do it for when we get to the anniversary, like our 1 year anniversary of doing this. We'll do it then.
Well, we'll see.
How's that
We'll see in the coming months. We might be able to find a day we just all be able to meet up, do things, and it'd be a good laugh. Get some videos. I'd love to do some videos with each other. Meet up and.
What kind of videos are we talking, Chris? Hey, what kind of videos?
Snuff stuff.
Snuffy.
little
Lovely.
little video nasties. Little things like that.
Lovely, mate.
Good old fashioned. Good old fashioned. I spit on your grave. And the Evil Dead, lovely.
No, not no. But like some little comedy things, or just the three of us just having a laugh out in public.
Oh yeah, little skits and everything. That'd be nice.
Yeah,
I look forward to that.
And that's about it.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, that's all things really. And of course,
that's cool.
If we can do any Doctor Who things, that'd be great. But I do have a Doctor Who thing coming out officially, so I'm going to be very smug with that.
Ooh, look at me, I got matching shoes. Ooh.
I'll tease more when that comes out. I won't mention it again.
Marvel. No, we love hearing about what you guys all do. I love hearing about what you guys have going on. So, Pete, I'm happy that you've got Slumming Ponces coming back and you've got more voice work coming up. Chris, I'm really happy that you've got everything going on with you. And honestly, I really do hope that 2019 proves to be a better year for all of us, but mostly for you two as well, because, I love you guys.
Thank you.
Love you too, mate.
In a plutonic
too, and I've got
way.
beer in my hand, so I will raise that. I am raising it. You can't see it.
I have a Diet Coke. I have a Diet Coke in my hand. I'm raising to you now, which is so lovely and warm and gross.
Elle, is there anything that you want us to do next year?
Honestly, I would love it if we can do more episodes. Like, obviously, that'd be great. If we can get more people involved, like if we know any other impressionists that would love to do small parts in sketches, like sort of like hey, here's a surprise cameo by this person, or even like interviewing people. Like, I think I might be talking to someone who might be willing to come on and have a quick chat with us about voiceover work and acting and everything. So that'd be cool. And just talking to people that influenced us, or we look up to, or people that we enjoy working with or know as friends and stuff who are in this industry as well. Yeah. Or if anyone that you guys know, if anyone who listens to this, if there are people you want us to talk to that we can talk to, that'd be great. So don't have someone just say can you interview Steven Spielberg? I'll be like, oh, mate, if you can put me in contact with Spielberg, it won't be for an interview. It'll be for work, mate. But yeah, so I'd love to do more of that. Obviously I love doing the sketches. I love doing this. So anything and all of the above would be great to do, and getting more people involved would be fantastic. And more live stuff, like more gigs, that'd be fantastic.
Yeah.
To quote Pete, it'd be fantastic.
But also, if you're listening and you have any suggestions of what you'd like us to do, we are always open to them. So do send them in. Please comment on us, tweet us, or comment on the Facebook page. Hashtag us.
Or just come round our houses, knock on the window like you're some scary serial killer. And most likely, because it's my birthday, New Year's Day, and I'm going to be on my own, so I'll probably let you in if you got crisps. So it's all good.
We have a couple of questions.
We do.
On
Lovely.
Twitter. Just a couple.
It's all right. I love answering them.
So the first one is from Terry Cooper.
Hello, Terry.
How would some of your celebs describe their favourite Christmas movies? I assume that means what our celebrity impersonations. I tell you, I don't like the one with the fucking puppets.
Oh, well, I personally happen to be a big fan of the one with the rabbits on the field as they're looking to move places, and a lot of them get tortured and murdered as they journey there. That's magical. I show it to my daughter all the time. It's wonderful, wonderful stuff. Which is also the inspiration for Deadpool 3, Electric Boogaloo, coming to theaters God knows when. Brought to you by Disney.
I sure like It's a Wonderful Life. It sure is a wonderful life. It is a wonderful life. It's a wonderful life. It's a wonderful life. It's a wonderful life. My program is broken. It's a wonderful life. Please help me. Turn me off. I'm gonna fry. It's a wonderful life. It's a wonderful life. I think that's great. Okay, the other
next question.
The other question we have is from Ewan. As Peter and Elle are well known for their 9th and 10th Doctor impressions, respectively, are they able to do any other incarnations?
Oh, well,
have a stab in the dark. I want to hear you guys do Troughton.
Oh, well, I suppose, I could give it a go. No, I can't do Troughton. Not very well, no.
Well, I suppose I don't, but I always sound like some camp gentleman.
You sound like a drunk Anthony Hopkins.
And you sounded
like... Clarice.
What was it? You're I'm trying to think
well. Travelling through time. And I've seen and eaten flesh from everyone I've seen.
Oh, yours sounded like Hugh Grant. That's it.
Oh, wow, thanks. Oh, well, I suppose that's a very, very nice compliment of you to say. Thank you, Mr. Chris Walker-Thomson. I suppose you're some sort of fucking Patrick Troughton expert, are you, I suppose? Well, excuse me, I've got another shit movie to make, so kindly go fuck yourself. Goodbye. I was in 4 Weddings and a Funeral, goddammit.
Oh, that's fantastic.
I've been working. I used to be able to do Matt Smith, but I've only done it.
Do it now.
I've done it for a few videos for Sneaky Zebra.
Do it now. You got to do it now.
Everything in time and space, anything that ever is or ever was. The only question you've got to ask yourself is, where do you want to start?
Okay, I'm not quite Jake Dudman, so whatever.
Good. Good. On the spot stuff.
The other one I have been working on was Paul McGann. I've been trying to work on his doctor's voice.
Go for it. The
only bit of dialogue I know off by heart, which I've been using to do the impression, is when he first appears in Night of the Doctor, so... I'm a doctor, but probably not the one you were expecting. Oh, Kaz, I apologize. I got you killed when you landed on that planet. And I was in Withnail and I. A lot of people forget about that, don't they? Everyone's like, oh, you're in Holby City. And yes, you were in Doctor Who for about 20 minutes, give or take. Well, to you I say, I'm not going to save you if you come to my hospital. Fuck the lot of you. Goodbye.
Not bad, mate. Not bad.
Nah, shit. No, mostly Tennant for me. Matt Smith's like a nearish second that I can do. But if I could, I'd love to learn to do John Pertwee's voice. I'd love to be able to do John Pertwee's voice. He was like he's one of my favourite doctors.
Yeah, he's got I can't even.
It's a tough one, mate.
I can't even think how he sometimes talks. It quite.
Yes, he's very, very like that.
Sometimes like that.
He's very like Super Ted, isn't he? Very like that, like Super Ted.
Oh yes,
Super Ted. Shit, he was Super Ted.
But no, he was Spotty.
No,
he's Spotty. Yeah,
Spotty man. He's Spotty man.
And Wurzel Gummidge. Jesus.
Yeah,
that's showing my age there.
Very kind of high frequency voice like that.
Cup of cake and a slice of tea, Aunt Sally.
Oh God,
there's no such thing as being frightened, you know. No, that's my impression of Tim Trelaw's impression of John Pertwee.
It's an impression of an impression of an impression. Marvellous. Impressionception.
Well, when I wrote the 12th Day, which we did a good few years ago now,
which is now available on YouTube and other streaming platforms. Go listen to it now. Merry Christmas, bitches.
And when I wrote that, I had to read and sort of, as I was writing it, I would speak aloud as the doctors, just even not in the best ways to try and, you know, so it sounded right.
So for timing sort of thing, yeah.
Yeah. With, oh, you know, like, well, Hartnell goes, oh, I see. Well, let's try something else like that.
That's not bad, actually, mate. That's pretty good.
And then I did Troughton, or I suppose that's what he sounds like.
No, that's shit. Do another one.
No, you sound like Bill Cosby, mate. You want to get another job, son?
Oh, what the bibbly bobbly boobly. Don't ever associate Patrick Chung Bingo with a Bill Crosby. I think the only line I did is John Bogus, which is sort of echoed in the back, which goes, "Did you just say what I think you said?" Or something like that. Tom Baker goes, "Oh, yes, well, don't tell that fellow." It just sounds more like John Coleshaw, really.
To be honest, though, sorry, not your John Coleshaw impression. I mean, your Tom Baker. Your Tom Baker's actually pretty good, so...
It's nowhere near as good as what he would say.
Dude, it's still good, though.
Oh, thank you. But Peter Davison, I don't really know. It's just sort of manic and over the top and out of control, I think. You know, something like that.
Yeah.
Colin Baker is...
He's one of those very stuck-up voices, isn't he?
Yes. Yes, I suppose you could say that. Or something like that. Anyway, I can't...
Change, my dear. It seems at a moment too soon.
Which is a shame, because it's not like him at all, and the Big Finish.
In real life, yeah, no, in real life he's a really nice guy. Nothing like his doctor.
Because my back aches from all that sitting around. I think that's what I did in the audio.
No.
Sylvester McCoy goes, Ace. I can't think of what I say. Ace. That's all I've got. Can't do McGann at all.
Gandalf, my friend.
Again, can't do. Eccleston is a very poor attempt at at it. You know, just a northern. You know, you might as well have me doing Big Finish narration for it. Everybody, shut up. You know, sort of just sticking to that sort, just to put on an accent, really. Nothing. Who was after that? David Tennant.
Well, you know, I suppose I was going to do it myself, but I decided not to.
Because you came along, I was like,
please do take this voice from me. I just don't want to do it. I appreciate that, Chris, but I suppose I could do it. Yeah, go on then.
And then obviously got Matt Smith, which I've had to do for an audio book, which was let me see what I get.
Okay, so it's all a bit wibbly wobbly, timey wimey, something like that.
He's got very similar to Troughton, actually. He's just like a younger
almost
Troughton.
like he's like helium. It's like Troughton on helium, almost kind of thing.
Yeah, there is a similarity
with Matt Smith. It's very close. When he does often talk quite softly and like that.
Obviously, Capaldi with a cold sounds like this.
May fuck those people. I love your Capaldi.
Get that shit out of your head, mate.
How dare you tell me I sound like I've got a cold?
Just because I'm mate or not, that's not the point.
yeah. But anyway, and then
you get some fucking Nurofen down you, and you'll piss all over those dicks.
It's all right. It works for the audio, but yeah. So I had to read out all the voices in that sort of way. But anyway, there you go. There's a little history. There's all the doctors in one go for you.
What about Jodie?
Well, when she's more interesting as a character, I might give it a go.
So, this is our last episode of 2018. We just want to say thank you all so much for listening, downloading it, sending us your questions, comments, and everything, and just the well wishes. You guys are the reason. You guys and girls are the reason we keep doing this, but also because we enjoy doing it. So you know. So we without further ado, I suppose that's to say is we wish you all we hope you all had a very lovely Christmas, and a prosperous New Year and a wonderful 2019. So, for the last time this year, I'm Elliott Crossley.
I'm Peter Walsh.
And I'm Chris Walker-Thomson, and a Happy New Year to all of you at home, and see you next year.